Hey man, I got a company, man. I gotta work my company, man. So I haven't had much time to be out on my walks. Um, of course, this holiday season is a busy time for me, so I'm not able to jump on as often as I would like. But even in the midst of that, man, I still like to teach. I still like to teach. So I want to teach today about building up your armor of God, man. When it speaks about the armor of God, man, it includes many of things, but this particular one is a big one. It's like learning to do something and getting proficient and efficient at it. And this particular armor of God that we're going to learn about today, because the armor of God carries many branches, like getting rid of shame, um, building up your self confidence, self esteem. All these things are the armor of God, man, that you already have that you just have to activate. So, um, when we're talking about the armor of God, we're talking about training. There's different particular types of training that can happen that lead to training. There are different types of trainings that can lead to you being proficient and efficient or better in your life. But if you neglect these things, you usually are going to have a harder life, man. That's usually how it works. So the first training that we're going to talk about is school training. In America here, not like many places overseas, American schooling is free. And if American schooling is free 1 through 12, then we should be taking advantage of schooling. We should not be sitting up in there wasting time, disrupting the class, being ignorant, being foolish. We should be in there receiving the training that the teachers are giving because it is free. We have some of our brothers that leave school, leave this particular form of training and don't even know how to read. I'm very, very um, urgent when I speak about brothers learning how to read. Men, men in particular, you need to learn how to read. It is a great form of training to know how to read. I feel it is a great deficit to yourself to leave school and not know how to read. How are you going to chastise a 7 year old and the 7 year old can clap back and be like, well, you don't even know how to read? And then you get mad at the 7 year old. Really, you shouldn't get mad at the 7 year old. You should level up to the 7 year old's level and learn how to read. We have a lot of people that ignore this training. They be like, nah, I don't need school. I'm gonna be a content creator. I'm gonna be I don't know what the hell. But when I be hearing these kids thinking, oh, I'm just gonna skip over this reading thing because I don't need that in the path towards success. I'm gonna reach over for something else. They're really doing themselves a disservice because you're missing a form of training. Not only that it's free, but this training can lead to greater opportunities. I see a lot of brothers that stay at jobs for a long time because they don't know how to fill out applications. When you don't know how to read, you don't know how to comprehend, you don't know how to understand. And then in the Bible, it says, with wisdom comes understanding. So if you don't have the understanding to learn how to read, it's a lot of things that you're not going to get. It's a lot of things you're not going to grasp onto. It's a lot of things in life that you're not going to get as a result of you not learning how to read. You're going to get like a watered down life of what you were really supposed to be getting. Like you have an inheritance that you're supposed to get, and you level yourself down to half of that because you didn't learn this simple training in school of learning how to read. Now, let's go on to the next one. Home training. It's a lot of y'all got a lot of good teachers at home and mothers and fathers, and you ignore training. They be teaching you how to clean. They be teaching you how to talk to people, how to address people with proper respect. They be telling you how to do all these things, and y'all be out there in your feelings, in your ego, in your pride, looking at your mama and then like, well, I gotta learn how to cook and clean, especially women. Especially women. If you are going to grow up and you want a husband and you want him to provide for you and the children, It would be great if you knew how to take care of a household. It'd be great. It'd be great. And they'd be like, well, why the man ain't got it? Well, I know how to cook and clean. And my sons, they know how to cook and clean. So my thing is, when you leave, when my son meets a woman, she ain't gonna be able to jangle him with no, well, I cook and clean. He gonna be like, what else do you do? What else do you do? I can do that too. Because I have good home training. When I left my mama house, my mama, her little nickname for me was Queen Clean. My mama had you up cleaning baseboards on a Saturday. That was the type of cleaning my mama would put up on you. So I could not walk into my own home and have a dirty home. Like it's not my direction. It's not something I want for my life. So I did not ignore the training of my mom. When I used to go to my friend's house, I still go to my friend's house today and their house is out of control. I'd be like, hey, bro, you need to clean this house. Because my training says if you know how to clean and you clean your home, chances are you'll feel better about yourself. This is what I do know. If you know how to cook for yourself, can't nobody jangle you with no salty meals. Can't nobody jangle you with no pasta. And pasta really is one of the easiest basic things you can make. And people be making it like it's something so extravagant. But a lot of people skip home training. They be like, I ain't gonna need that. You know, I don't like being told what to, anybody can tell me what to do. Anybody gonna tell me I gotta cook and clean. The thing is, when you ignore this training and you get outside, I tell my kids all the time, you can ignore this training, but when you get outside on your own, you're gonna have to do it. Ain't nobody for to jump into this lane for you and do your housework for you. And if you can't afford a maid, and if you can't afford a chef to come and cook for you, you're gonna be asked out. You're gonna be in McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, foolishness every day. And then you're gonna die off early because that food ain't good for you. So receiving home training, knowing how to speak to somebody in the proper respect is something that home training is good for. You're supposed to learn respect while speaking to mom and dad, speaking to grandmama, grandfather, speaking to aunts and uncles. You're supposed to learn respect there. This is where your home training, before you go outside and start dealing with others, is supposed to take hold. You're supposed to learn here, so when you get outside, it ain't really that hard. See, if you're already in the motion, you don't have to get in the motion. But if you have to get in the motion, it's going to take a little bit of time for you to get yourself together. So it's good to receive this home training while you're in mama and daddy in them house living for free. So let's go on to the next thing that training is definitely required is work in the field. So it's some people that go to school to receive a training. And then there's some people that do this work and they go to work with somebody and they learn it in the field, or they're an apprentice, or it's an internship and they're learning on the go. They're learning on the fly. This is where you really have to pay attention, because in the field is where things happen. When you're at school, you're learning about the field. You're learning about the field. But when you're in the field, you're learning about the field from the field. So let's just say you're an electrician and you're learning lockout, tagout. And you don't learn it the right way because you're not paying attention. In the field, you get somebody killed. When I was working overseas in Afghanistan and we were working on this project, if you didn't listen to the safety briefing meetings, you could possibly get someone hurt. I remember we used to have these safety meetings and they would tell these people, do not put those zip cords on the end of the truck to hold the doors open. We had these big MRAP trucks that we would service. And so basically we worked on a project where battle damaged vehicles would come in, we would repair the vehicles, send them back out. These particular vehicles were blown to shreds half the time. And so sometimes the door wouldn't stay open when you open the door. So some guys would move the door all the way back and then latch it with one of those elastic zip lines. And they would tell the mechanics to not do that. And they would tell the mechanics to not do that because there would be serious repercussions if that zip line became unattached at some form and hit you in your eye. So when they telling you this in the security meetings, most people be when you get to a certain level of comfort at your job, you don't be listening to these safety briefings anymore. So this particular mechanic did not listen to the safety briefing, does the same thing they asked him not to do. The zip line comes and hits him in the eye. The zip tie comes hit him in the eye. Now you out here looking like Peter Pan because you don't want to listen. In the field, it makes perfect sense to pay attention. If you're in the healthcare industry, like when you're in the healthcare industry, if you're a nurse, if you're a doctor, you got to do a bunch of clinicals. That's field work. They're showing you how to do this work because in school, it could be one way, but in the field, it might be a new procedure or a new way of doing things. So you might have learned it one way in school, but the field tells you you need to do it this way because things have been upgraded. Well, let's just say if you're not paying attention in clinicals and it's time for you done graduated, you done became a full RN, a full doctor, and you don't really know what to do because you weren't paying attention to clinicals. Now you're in the field hurting people because you were not paying attention in the clinicals where you're being taught in the field how to do the work. This goes over to construction. You can go to many different areas, but if you do not pay attention to the training, you're going to be asked out. The last, and this is the one that I feel is most important, relationship training. It's a lot of people, they're really, really smart in school. They get straight A's. But in relationships, these people get straight F's. They dumb as hell in relationships. Because if you're smart in one area, that does not mean you're smart in all areas. It just means you're smart in that one area. So if you're a neuroscientist, you're only smart at neuroscience or neuroscientific stuff. When you get into relationships, that don't damn matter. Don't nobody give a damn if you're a neuroscientist when it comes to matters of the heart. So in relationships, it's good to see that it's good to get around people who can provide you good mentorship, good training on relationships. Some of y'all watched y'all mama and daddy be married for 40 years, and you said, well, I've watched them be married for 45 years. That's the only training I need. Au contraire. Au contraire. You don't know anything because your marriage, your relationship ain't going to be like your mama and daddy. The woman or the man that you choose ain't going to be like your mama or your daddy. Hopefully you can get somebody as close, but they ain't going to be like your mama and daddy. They're going to be your wife, your husband. They're going to operate in the way that they want to operate. And so in relationships, it's a lot of give or take. And this is what people don't be thinking or understand about relationships. A lot of training. Man, when I was looking into relationships, I went on a lot of dates. I would date a whole bunch. I probably went over on 1,000 dates with different women. And I had to learn what I liked and what I didn't like about the relationship that I wanted for myself. It took so long for me to find out what exactly type of woman did I want. What I want exactly. So once you learn exactly what you want, man, you can start praying exactly for the things that you need in your relationships, the type of person you want to attract. You become very detailed about what you want in your prayers when you know exactly what you want, but you got to get good training on what you need. Now, when you're not trained, these are particular areas that you'll invest in if you're not trained. If you are not trained, you're going to lean heavy on these areas over here. People that clap back all the time, I can guarantee you they're not trained. Hey, man, your home train should say every situation don't deserve a clap back. That's what my home training say. Sometimes the people that clap at you, they already done got their clap back. What they look like is the clap back. Their life is the clap back. You don't need to offer them nothing. But when you're not properly trained, you clapping back at everybody because you have no training. You have no training. Of course you're going to clap back. You got to clap back at everybody because you don't have no training and saying, you know what? This person don't even deserve a clap back. This person, you and your life is the clap back. Another thing, when you're not trained, you usually hang in the back. So it's usually people that can't read. They're usually in the back of the class. So when they're called on, they get mad. They be like, man, why you calling on me, man? I'm just trying to be in class, man. Mind my business, because they don't know how to read. You don't know how to read, of course you're going to sit in the back of the class. Of course you're going to be at the back of the meeting, the work meeting, because you don't really know what the hell's going on. You weren't properly trained. People that are properly trained, they go to the front. They're in the middle. They're not hanging in the back. But if you're not properly trained, you want to hide. You want to hide yourself. The people that are not properly trained like to hide. When you're not good at what you do, when you're not proficient, when you're not efficient at what you do, you hide in the back. Like, okay, if don't nobody see me, then I can, man, get out of that. Get out of that, man. It's good to get your training, be confident in what you do so you don't have to hide in the back trying to not be seen. When you're not trained, you're usually undisciplined. Somebody that's undisciplined, man, you're going to do all types of foolishness. I be seeing stuff like men talk about, man, Emmy, these people be paying too much in child support and then go have unprotected sex with a woman that you don't even damn know. They be like, okay, I don't like that these entertainers are paying as high as child support, but on the other end, I'm gonna go and have unprotected sex with somebody that I just met because you undisciplined. Your penis, if your mind is undisciplined, your penis is undisciplined. Works together. If ain't nobody told you that you shouldn't be lending your body out to everybody, then you undisciplined. If you having sex with everybody, if you having sex with your girlfriend or your wife's friends or your husband's friends, you are undisciplined. You undisciplined with your sexual parts. So undisciplined. It's people that are undisciplined at work. It's people that's undisciplined at home. It's people that are undisciplined in all types of areas. But when you're undisciplined, that lets me know you're untrained. That lets me know, that's the fastest way to let me know you're untrained. Okay, ain't nobody trained you. That's why you undisciplined. My coach in football, he used to always say, when you get nervous, when you get anxious, when you get all these things, lean on your technique. If you leaned on your technique, which you should have studied, which you should have brought it to your spirit, when you study your technique, when the play is called, you're not as worried because you studied the playbook. I know what the play is, but for this particular play, I need to have my technique right. If I lean on my technique, if I lean on my training, I'm gonna be okay. I learned that in life. And the last thing, if you're not trained, you're gonna always be offended. You're gonna be offended every single day. Every time somebody says something, you're gonna be offended. It don't even matter because you're untrained. Untrained. Untrained person gonna be offended because they want the smoke off their ass most of the time. So they'll be offended. They'll be so what you trying to say? They're trying to do that to get you off of the main objective that you came to them with. Don't let these people get you off your message because they're untrained. Get out of here with that. Hey man, if you're trained in these specific areas that I spoke on, it's a lot of people that can't move you left or right. If you're trained on knowing who your God is, don't nobody get to move you left or right. If you train on knowing who you are, if you have confidence in yourself, can't nobody move you left or right, man. This basically what I'm kind of trying to say in this thing is if you have proper training, it's a lot of stuff that don't rattle you. It's a lot of stuff that don't move you left or right. So what I'm trying to say to y'all is don't avoid training. Training is lifelong. Training is it's fun when you learn it and you know what you got to do and don't nobody got to keep telling you what you got to do. It's fun. It becomes fun because I don't have to be getting trained every day. Peace out, my good people.